Okay, so we've got all our ingredients ready. So the first thing that we need to do is weigh out our flour. So I've got an electric weighing scale and I've got my bowl here and my spoon ready. So I'm going to turn the weighing scale on. Now it's really, really important. I know it's tempting sometimes for grown-ups to want to measure out the ingredients. But when we're thinking about baking with children, we want the children to be involved as much as possible. So it's not about having perfect bakes. It's about having bakes where the children have learned something and been involved. Okay, so I'm going to let Luna help me measure. So we might get a bit too much in. We might have to scoop some out, or we might not get enough in. We'll see. Okay, so we need, I'm having a look at my recipe that I sent everybody on the email. We need 500 grams of strong white bread flour. So that's the one, yeah, that's the flour. It's really heavy, isn't it? So we need 500 grams. So let's see if we can open it, pull it open. It's important to talk to the children about what the ingredients are, thinking about following instructions, teaching them how to follow instructions. Okay, now we're going to measure. So we're going to have a look at the numbers on the weighing scale. So these numbers on the weighing scale will tell us how much flour we've put in, how many grams. I will help you hold it because it's very heavy. It's a full bag, isn't it? So we're looking for 500. It's quite a lot. Keep holding it. Can you see the numbers on the weighing scale going up? Oh, we're on 400. 420. We'll just add a little bit at a time now because we're getting close to 500. Perfect, just about perfect. Right, let's have a look at the numbers on the weighing scale. So if you look, what number is that one?
10.
That's a number 5. That's number 5. And that's a 0 and that's a 6. We've got 506, 506 grams. That's okay, that will do. Turn my weighing scales back to 0. And we need 40 grams of soft butter. 40 grams of soft butter. So when you pour this in, it should get to number 40. Let's see. Pour it in.
I got my finger. Can look at it.
Look at that. 42. That's not bad. Now, Luna's just asked if she can lick her finger. Do we lick fingers when we're baking? No way, why not? It's not clean, is it? We've washed our hands, haven't we, before we started baking, but we don't lick fingers or put fingers near our faces when we are baking. So you'll have to wait until the bread is made. Okay, now this bit's really important. We've got some yeast. So we're going to pour the yeast in, and the yeast needs to go in one half of the bowl, and then we've got a little bit of salt, and the salt needs to go in the other half of the bowl. Okay, so not in the same place, because otherwise, now I'm not a baker, but this is what the instructions say, otherwise the salt will kill the yeast if they put in at the same time in the same place. So the yeast goes in at one side and the salt goes in at the other side.
Okay.
On that side.
Got yeast.
That's perfect. Okay, and then we need our salt in the other side of the bowl. So I'm going to turn it round for you.
I'm going to pour the salt in. Right.
Now the salt, we need 1.5 teaspoons. So we're going to put some salt in that side. Okay. So we've measured our flour, we've measured our butter, we've added our yeast, and we've added our salt. And the next thing that we need to do on our list is stir all the ingredients together with a spoon to combine them. So mix it, mix it, mix it. Now this is a really good gross motor activity to get children's arms and shoulders nice and strong, ready for learning how to write and hold pens and pencils correctly. So we're mixing, we're going round and round and round. Oh. Now we've got everything stirred, I'm going to take out my spoon, and we've got some water. Now I have already measured it because the water needs to be a bit warm. So I have measured it already, but We need 300 millilitres of water. So we are still going to have a look at the jug. And we're showing children, we're talking about the numbers that they can see, and we're talking about using these little lines on here to measure. Okay, because all the writing and the numbers on our baking equipment is there for a reason. It's there to help us measure things and know how much we're putting in. So it says to put about half of the water in. So could you pour about half in, Luna? Another excellent gross motor skill for children is pouring and having control over things that they're pouring. I think that's probably enough. That's excellent. That was really careful. Now this is where we start to get messy, which is my favourite bit. And definitely, look at Luna, she's eager to get in there, Luna's favourite bit. So use your fingers now to mix all the water in with the rest of your dry ingredients and mix it into a dough. If you feel like you need a little bit more water because it's gone a bit dry, you can add some more water as well. So get your fingers in, have a really good mix. Oh, squidge it all together, that's it. Make sure you scoop up all the flour from around the edges of the bowl. Yeah, it's stuck, isn't it? It's all right. Keep mixing. Doesn't matter if we get messy, because sometimes having fun is messy, isn't it? And learning can be messy as well. That's it. Get your fingers in. Mrs Widdup is just having a check, and I think that this is looking like dough. So it's important that we've got all the mixture from around the edges of the bowl, and we've got a big lump of dough. Now the next bit, mixing the messy stuff, is Luna's favourite bit, and the next bit is Mrs Widdup's favourite bit, because the next bit is where we need to knead the dough.
Are you doing?
Yeah, so we need a little bit of oil. So you just need a little bit of oil on top of your work surface for when you're kneading the bread. I'm literally just pouring a little bit of oil onto my work surface, and then if you use your hand to spread it out. Okay, and then we get our dough out of our bowl, our beautiful dough, and we pop it on top of the work surface, on top of the oil like that. And now we're going to knead it. So kneading it is a really, really good gross motor activity that's excellent for building up children's strength in their hands. So you need to pull the corners away like this and fold it back in. Turn it, pull the corner away, fold it back in. Turn it, pull the corner away and fold it back in. If you need a little bit of flour because it's getting too sticky, you can just sprinkle a little bit of flour on as well. Luna, do you want to sprinkle some flour? Getting quite sticky, isn't it?
What's a bit more flour?
Beautiful. Right, are you going to do some kneading? Okay, so like this, watch. Pull the corner, fold it and squash. Pull the corner, fold it and squash, like that. That's it. That's excellent. Important to spend about 5 minutes kneading the dough. And just turn it, keep turning it, and having a really good squidge. Make sure you've worked all that dough. Like that.
Turn, squidge. Turn, squidge. Turn, squidge. Turn.
Okay, so I've got my mixing bowl back and it's nice and clean this time. Now what you need to do is just put a tiny little bit of oil in your mixing bowl, tiny little bit, and we're going to paint the inside of the mixing bowl like that, all the way around. That's it. Another excellent gross motor activity. Look at all these things that you're doing to exercise your muscles ready for writing, all by making bread. How amazing. That's it, all up to the top. Now, we need to leave our dough to prove. So proving gives the yeast chance to act, and the bread dough should double in size. So that's it. Now we've lined the bowl with our oil. That's excellent. We're going to pop our dough into the bowl like that. That's it. Don't squish it. Leave it in there. And we're going to cover it with a tea towel. And we're going to leave it in there for about an hour. And it should grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And it should double in size. And then it's ready to do some more baking. So this is a good time if you've got some washing up to do. The boys and girls can help with the washing up, because in nursery school they need to wash up their own snack things. So we do wash up at nursery, everybody. So boys and girls can help with the washing up. And then maybe you could go and watch one of our other YouTube videos while you're waiting for your dough to prove. So we'll see you soon. Okay, we've left our dough to prove for an hour. Let's see if it's grown. What's happened to the dough?
It's grown.
It's bigger. It's even bigger. So what we need to do now is we need to get the dough out of the bowl and we need to knead it again. What we need to do is we need to lightly flour our work surface. So get some flour, sprinkle it on for me. And then let's do some more kneading. And then let's do some baking. Cooking it in the oven. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so can we remember how to knead? So remember, we're pulling it and pushing it. And you have to do it for a good 5 minutes. Keep turning it to make sure that you're getting it all. It's called knocking the air out, apparently. Mrs Widdup is not a baker. So this is new to me. So please don't worry if you feel like you're not a good baker, because I'm not a very good baker either. Right, Luna, knead away. Push. Push, push, push. That's it. Oh, that's fantastic kneading. Excellent.
I'm pushing it in.
That's really good kneading.
This is going to be fat.
Yeah, that's
Fat
right.
and
Remember,
round.
pull a corner out like that. Push it in. Excellent. So, our loaf is almost ready to bake, but first of all we need to shape it. Now, I'm going to give Luna her own little bit of dough to make her own loaf. And then I'm going to make a big loaf for everybody else. So we're going to have 2 loaves. So I'm using a very sharp knife. I'm going to cut a little bit off.
For me.
And this is your loaf. So you're going to make your own bread roll. Mrs Widdup's going to make another bread roll here. That's it, so shape away. I'm going to make a round loaf, I think.
Actually, I'm going to make a square one.
Oh, very good.
A bigger bread loaf.
And then my loaf is ready to go onto the baking tray.
And it's a little patchy and nothing is in it.
That's beautiful. Is that your loaf? Right, pop it on the baking tray. Luna's loaf. That's beautiful, that one.
That
Lovely.
it looked like a
So we've got both our loaves on our baking tray. Now what we need to do is we need to let the dough prove again. So it needs to prove again for up to another hour. But it could be a bit quicker or slower. It depends how warm your kitchen is.
And my loaf is gonna.
That's right. So yeah, when we prove them, what will happen? They'll get
bigger.
Excellent. So we're going to leave them here to prove. I'm going to cover them again with my tea towel. That's it. Don't change the shape of it now. It looks very beautiful. And then it will be ready to go into the oven at 220 degrees for half an hour. So I'm going to let this prove, and then we'll pop it in the oven for half an hour at 220 degrees. And then I will see you soon with hopefully 2 delicious, well-baked loaves of bread. Well, there are mine and Luna's loaves of bread that we've made today. Can't wait to see photos of everybody else's bread. Bye, everyone.